Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Savannah Chrisley's shocking claims against sentencing judge. Savannah Chrisley has seemingly put her parents in hot water with her words recently. Many people believe that Savannah's mouth has caused some problems for her mom, Julie Chrisley, in the prison system. Now she's slamming the sentencing judge and prosecution online. Continue reading to see what fans think about Savannah's latest rant. Over the weekend, Savannah took to Instagram to share a video of herself talking about her mother's recent resentencing hearing. Julie Chrisley appeared in an Atlanta courtroom last week to be resentenced. However, the judge deemed her original sentence of 7 years to be sufficient for the crimes in question. There were plenty of signs that this would be the case before the judge handed the new sentence down. The government even suggested that the judge uphold the original sentence before the hearing date. Despite that, Savannah Chrisley continued to hope for the best. When her mom didn't receive any kind of reduction, the Chrisley Knows Best star was obviously upset. But what made her even angrier was that the judge seemed to be making personal remarks in court. Outside the courthouse, Savannah and the family attorney, Alex Little, addressed what happened. Apparently, the judge made several comments directed at Savannah, the television show, the podcast, and the kids, Chloe and Grayson Chrisley. Savannah went on to call the judge and prosecution uneducated and claimed they would continue to appeal the court's decision. In her latest video on Instagram, Savannah talks about the resentencing hearing once again. She goes on a bit of a rant. In the clip, she says that it was a hard pill to swallow, hearing that her mother's original sentence was upheld. On top of that, Savannah Chrisley pointed out that the overall amount that Julie was responsible for was shown to be reduced from $17 million to $4.7 million. Most people would think that would result in a reduction in her sentence, but that's not how things played out in court. Savannah went on to say that she was in shock when the judge began commenting on the television show and accusing her of not caring for the kids' emotional well-being. She said that she is going to continue to fight corruption in the system because she has nothing left to lose at this point. In the caption, she wrote, "Thank you for loving and standing by us. The fight is not over." Many people think that Savannah's constant public remarks about the justice system may be having an impact on Julie's experience. It was just revealed that she'd have to take the long route back to custody after leaving Atlanta. One person took to Reddit to discuss her latest rant. This time she is again going after the judge in the resentencing hearing, stating the judge is uneducated and that Fulton County is causing the problem. They wrote, while many of the comments on Savannah's Instagram are supportive, Reddit users weren't so nice. Lol, yes, I'm sure the judge is not nearly as educated with the court system as Savannah, one person commented. Another wrote, it's not lost on me she is plotting and scheming. This is the same behavior that led to her parents' downfall. She is playing a dangerous game that will backfire eventually. What do you think about Savannah's comments? Is she just making things worse? Let us know in the comments below. Savannah Chrisley has never been one to hold back her feelings, especially when it comes to protecting her family. Over the past year, the Chrisleys have faced an unrelenting storm of legal trouble, public scrutiny, and personal heartbreak. But now, Savannah is taking her fight one step further, directly targeting the very heart of the system that sentenced her parents. In a series of bold, fiery statements, the reality star has made shocking claims against the sentencing judge, leaving fans, critics, and even legal analysts stunned. For Savannah, the saga has never been just about her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley. It has been about fairness, transparency, and accountability, or, as she says, the lack thereof. What began as whispers of frustration has erupted into a full-blown crusade. And if Savannah has her way, The judge who handed down her parents' fate may find themselves under the same kind of microscope the Chrisleys have endured. A daughter's frustration boils over. When the sentencing was first announced, Savannah put on a brave face. She told fans she would take custody of her younger siblings and keep her family afloat. But behind the scenes, she simmered with anger. As months passed, that quiet frustration grew into pointed accusations. The way my parents were treated in court was nothing short of outrageous, Savannah declared on her podcast, Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley. Her voice carried both fury and grief. This wasn't justice. This was a message, and that message was that someone wanted to make an example out of us. The 20-something star insists the judge ignored key pieces of evidence and leaned heavily into painting the Chrisleys as villains for the cameras. It felt like a performance, she said. Except the people paying the price weren't actors. It was my mom and dad. And it's us, their kids, who live with the fallout every single day. The shocking allegations. Savannah didn't stop at expressing disapproval. In a jaw-dropping twist, she alleged the judge displayed bias from the very beginning. According to Savannah, private comments and courtroom behaviors pointed toward a predetermined outcome long before the sentencing gavel struck. Judges are supposed to be impartial. But tell me how impartial it is when you already seem to have your mind made up, she asked during an emotional episode of her podcast. She claimed her family's celebrity status actually worked against them, turning what should have been a fair trial into what she labeled a publicity circus. Even more startling, Savannah hinted that her legal team may pursue avenues to formally challenge the judge's conduct. This isn't over, she vowed. If I have to spend the next 5 years of my life uncovering what really went down, then that's exactly what I'll do. I owe that to my parents, and I owe it to every other family who feels they've been crushed by a system that doesn't play fair. Fans rally, critics fire back. The reaction to Savannah's accusations has been explosive. Chrisley family loyalists flooded her social media with words of support, praising her courage and resilience. Many echoed her claims, saying the justice system often feels skewed against ordinary people, and in this case, against a family that has always lived in the public eye. But critics were quick to pounce. Some accused Savannah of grasping at straws, unwilling to face the reality of her parents' convictions. Everyone wants to blame the system when they don't like the outcome, one commenter wrote. Others argued her fiery rhetoric could backfire, potentially making things even harder for her family in the long run. Still, the debate has only amplified Savannah's voice. Each new episode of her podcast draws thousands of listeners, many tuning in just to hear her latest revelations about the case. And whether people agree with her or not, no one can deny that she has turned herself into one of the most outspoken children of a convicted reality star in recent memory. Fighting for her parents. Savannah's boldest claim came during an interview where she suggested the judge may have held a personal grudge against her father, Todd Chrisley. It was like he wanted to humiliate him, strip him of everything he ever worked for, and make sure we were left broken, she alleged. Her words stunned the interviewer, who pressed her for clarification. Savannah didn't flinch. I know how it sounds. I know people will say I'm just bitter, she said. But when you see how certain decisions were made, when you hear things said in court that had nothing to do with the actual case, you can't help but wonder what was really going on. And I'm not afraid to call it out anymore. For Savannah, this isn't just about fighting legal battles. It's about rewriting the narrative. She insists her parents are not the greedy masterminds prosecutors painted them to be, but rather flawed human beings caught in a web of complex financial dealing.